In this video, I'm going to talk about how Facebook's new advertising update, which is called Andromeda, nearly ran my client's business into the ground, who were actually only 1 or 2 months away from going bankrupt, and it was all because of just one ad. But luckily, we managed to turn things around, and that's because I poured like 20 plus hours into analyzing the situation. And luckily for you, I came up with a full SOP how you can avoid the same happening to your business. So without any further ado, let me share my screen and actually show you what was causing the issue, that it was bringing us the worst freaking leads you can think about, like people living under the bridge and shit, and how we turned things around. And now we're basically attracting middle and upper class, and our sales team are loving the leads. And in case you're wondering who I am and why you should listen to me, my name is Nazim, and in the last 10 years, I've made my clients over $40 million in sales. We're running a marketing agency where we work with high-ticket businesses, coaches, consultants, content creators, course sellers. So if you are selling your expertise, where are your main marketing engine, which will grow and drive your business forward? So without any further ado, again, let's dive in. So as you can see, there's a whole presentation I've prepared, and the headline is Facebook's AI is a magnifying glass and is probably destroying your lead quality right now. But don't get too desperate, because there is actually a way to use that magnifying glass to absolutely skyrocket your business. And I'm glad you're watching this video, because that's what we're going to talk about. So look, a little bit of kind of like a throwback. I started working with this client. Everything was going fine until one day it wasn't. The sales team started complaining about the lead quality, saying that we're getting extremely low status, low financially qualified people on the phone. And obviously we started going through the entire ad stack and funnels, trying to pinpoint the problem. We went through the funnels, and there was literally no changes in the funnel. Same VSL, same application process, same questions in the form. We checked the pixel. Pixel was firing correctly, no issues there. We would check targeting, but we've been running broad since day one on this account, which is, by the way, what I recommend to all of you running ads. If you do your ads right, you don't have to choose any specific targeting on Facebook, because with Andromeda, Facebook does its targeting based on ad creatives, what you say in your video ads, the text you put above the fold. And if you do that right, you can just run broad, which we did. Budget, same. Landing page, no changes. So what the hell happened? Because essentially the ratio of people who said I'm willing to invest only less than $1,000 literally doubled. It went up to, like, I think as high as 70% of the leads who were paying for could not afford our services. So what the hell happened? After doing all of this digging and probably sinking 15 hours in here, I actually realized that one place I didn't look is inside of the ad, and not just the inside of the ad set, but I looked at kind of like the grander scheme of the ad budget allocation. I looked at the last 3 weeks and how Facebook has been distributing the budget, and I realized that most of the budget literally went to 2 ads. By most, I mean over 80% of ad spend was spent on just these 2 ads. And the reason why it didn't really bother me was because the results we were getting were fantastic. If you look at cost per lead, and this is what most advertisers do, they look at the campaign level, maybe ad set level, and they are essentially using KPI as their kind of like North Star metric, right? Their cost per lead. And if it's going good, they don't really bother going into the ad set. And even if they go inside of the ad set, they don't care. Like, they see a winning ad, they just let it rip, right? Which kind of makes sense and totally what you should do. But if you add on top lead quality issue, well, that's actually the source of the problem. And what I basically did was I rewatched these 2 ads multiple times, and I realized that they were not speaking to our ICP whatsoever. And well, let's not do that. And that's the biggest point of this video, is that Facebook is a super magnifying machine, right? It will look at your ad and it will pick on everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? And in our case, obviously picked on the ugly. And you might be also thinking, why does Facebook keep fucking me over, right? I'm trying to spend money on Facebook. I'm trying to make it profitable. Well, the reason why Facebook screws us over is because it's geared to optimize for conversions. It actually tries to do you good by bringing you as many conversions as possible. And it's just the reality of the world we live in, that there's a lot more broke or low quality people than the high quality people. And if there's even 1 or 2 things that you say in the ad that attract the lower profile of people, Facebook will absolutely use that as a cue to place in front of those people and to get you as many conversions as possible. But Facebook doesn't know that those conversions like are terrible and are not going to convert. Like, it doesn't really have the context into your business. So it just does it based on the numbers. There's ways to force that logic upon Facebook, that context. A lot of times what we do also with clients, just didn't do it with this client specifically, you can actually, through Facebook's conversion API, hook it up to your sales CRM and only send data for leads that actually are qualified and that you keep moving across the sales pipeline, which basically tells Facebook, hey, these leads we generated, let's only track these leads, that the company keeps moving across the sales pipeline, which means things are moving along, it's a good lead, right? And everyone who is disqualified and does not enter the sales pipeline, we're not going to track. So there's some sophisticated ways to do it, but I imagine that most of you are not there yet. So I'll show you how you can still force that logic upon Facebook without having to do the conversion API sales CRM setup. So anyway, right, it's going to pick on the words that are off ICP, and you need to create ads that are on the ICP. Right, so I'll talk about how to create ICP ads in a moment, but let's talk about what I actually did in this scenario. What I did was I looked at 25 plus ads we had running in this ad set and then other ad sets. There's 19 ads in this ad set, but there's some more ad sets that we're running. I think in total we were running like 35 video ads. And as you can imagine, I had to literally sit down and watch all the 30 video ads 4 or 5 times over and over and over. Again, each ad, it takes literally 2 to 3 minutes. So spent a lot of hours analyzing, micro-analyzing the data, but that's my responsibility in front of the client. And as a result, I turned off close to 30% of the ads. As you can see in this ad set, we have 19 ads, and I turned off 7 of them, right? So 33%, or actually closer to 40%. But what essentially happened was that as soon as I did that, our results dramatically changed. And let me show you how that actually looks on paper. In just 48 hours, the amount of people that were applying that said we're ready to invest less than 1K only, which basically represents shitty leads, went down from 65.4%, never mind the 70%, these are the exact numbers, from 65.4% to 41.7% in just 2 days. And we literally didn't change anything in the funnel. Nothing. We didn't even launch new ads at a time, right? So essentially, turning off your poisonous ads is the essentially least effort thing you can do to improve your lead quality. I mean, there's still some effort that's involved in watching the videos, but you don't have to create anything new. You just have to do your due diligence and do an audit, which is easier than creating, right? So that's number one. Now, moving on to number 2, because it's not just as simple as turning off the poisonous ads. It's great, but you have to also replace those ads to keep the Facebook ad diversity rich. Because one more thing that I didn't say in this video, I said in my other videos, that check out my other YouTube videos. I'll actually link the right video at the end of this video. But Facebook's targeting, especially after the Andromeda update, works best on rich ads creatives, which means I sometimes go into ad accounts, even for big gurus, and they run 5 ads and it's a joke, right? Here's why. Let me quickly show you why. So most people think the way Facebook targets is if I, tell Facebook to target, let's say, online coaches, then this is what Facebook does for its targeting. Like, it just kind of like picks this audience, which is like 5 million people, and it serves all of my ads to these just a bunch of people, 5 million people that are online coaches. But that's incorrect. That's not how Facebook targeting works. The way Facebook targeting works is based on essentially micro pockets of audiences, and it matches individual ads that you have with the micro pockets of audiences. And here's how it actually classifies and creates those micro pockets, right? So it literally has these micro pockets of audiences, and you need to have tons of ads so that then it can look across many of your ads that you have, and then essentially connect each individual ad with a pocket of audience. So like that, right? So Excalibur is not letting me do it properly. It's because I've basically maxed out the zoom at 1000%, my bad. But essentially it will take each ad, maybe 2 to 3 ads at a time, and it will connect it to an individual pocket of audience. And the way it classifies these pockets are based on essentially their buyerness awareness level. So some people are ready to buy now, others are going to be ready in 2 weeks, and you need to create ads at different awareness levels. All of your ads cannot just say, hey, buy now, buy now, buy now, buy now. Like, hey, I know you have this problem and you've been looking for a solution for forever. This is the best way to do this. Like, your ads, at least not all of them, they cannot be like that, right? In some ads, you have to talk about the problem, keep it general. In other ads, you have to you have to be a bit more aggressive and really push for your solution. But that's also what we do for our clients at our agency. We'll literally map out this customer journey. There's this pyramid, right? The buyer's awareness pyramid. And most advertisers and businesses try to only go after the top of the pyramid, which represents maybe 4% of buyers, which is why it's so expensive to advertise, because you're only going for the 4% kind of like cream of the crop audience, but everybody else goes for those people. What about if you go a level below or 2 levels below? Because there's people that are problem aware but are not solution aware or product aware, right? You don't have to, it's not that you can only go after people that are product aware and they're just shopping for a provider. You can go after people that are clueless what the solution, should be or should look like. And you can educate them on the best solution and then make your pitch. So look, this is not a Facebook targeting masterclass. I already have other videos on the channel for that. But essentially, the point is, as you turn off these videos, you have to replace them with new videos. And the best way you can do that is mining for testimonials. So look, copywriting is not something you have to pay tens of thousands of dollars for, which was very popular back in the day. You would hire these guru copywriters. But I personally write $1 million ad copy for clients, and I don't even like copywriting. I really don't. I hate writing this. This is why I'm doing these videos, right? I don't like finessing and honing down my copywriting skills. So I had to figure out a way how to write fantastic copy by still avoiding, writing too much. And when I was studying up copywriting, obviously, as any good marketer should, I came across this quote from, I think it was from Gary Halbert or from some other famous copywriter. And the quote said something like this, said, the best copy is not written, it's pronounced or it's said by your clients, right? So, or like the best copy is written by your clients, not by you. And that really stuck with me all along. So what I did was I literally opened up their YouTube channel with dozens of testimonials this client has, and I started watching them one by one. And that's why the whole thing took me 20 plus hours, but it was worth it because of the results. So I literally started watching all of these videos, and I opened up a Google Doc, and bit by bit, the things that I liked or I thought were valuable that the client said, and not just about their outcomes, right, or results, but more so about their struggles, reasons why they clicked on our ad, what their journey through the program looked like, right? What were their challenges? What were their sticking points? What were the kind of like over the hump moments or aha moments? So I literally were transcribing the good things that I heard in a Google Doc. And I also downloaded transcripts of these videos. I downloaded the YouTube videos and then turned them into SRT files. And then obviously I did what anyone nowadays should do. I went to Claude, I went to AI, but instead of essentially asking AI to write me copy, which is a sloppy way to work with the AI, I gave AI a very specific prompt. So first of all, there's a couple of things you have to give the AI. The first thing I gave AI is examples of good ad copy that we have, or like the examples of good video transcripts that we have. Right, so essentially AI had some sort of notion, right, of what our ads typically look like. Then I told AI that, hey, here's this Google Doc with tons of good stuff, great stuff I picked from the YouTube videos, right, and I want you to prioritize these tidbits and essentially bits of copy when you're going to be writing that copy. And then for general context, I also fed the general video transcripts into the AI as well. And what happened was, obviously AI created a bunch of ad variations, and I think we had 6 main hooks. There were different angles, like AI proof business model, glass ceiling in the career. This client runs BizOps. So we created different angles, and for each angle, I wrote like 2 to 3 different video. Well, AI wrote 2 to 3 different video ad variations, but I still heavily edited them because look, AI is great, but it still requires human touch, because it's going to be you who has this kind of like artistic and in-depth knowledge of your client, where you still have to put in some effort, where you kind of like refine the copy. But again, it was still all worth it, because literally 48 hours. This happened. So this happened after we turned off the ads, and then as we launched the ads, we were able to retain these results. Because if we did not, for example, replace these ads, then these ads would get fatigued really quick. So I went ahead and actually took a screenshot from the ad account, and the first one here at the top is actually the new ad set that we launched with the replaced ads, and as you can see, it's beating the shit out of the other ad set that we have, right? So this ad set with turned off campaigns is this one, right? Over time, the cost on it started rising, and this ad set is the new ad set with the new ads. And the problem is with this ad set, we turned off a bunch of ads, and I think we had only like 8 ads running here after all. And this ad set will launch the 20 ads again, because we essentially replaced the paused ads with the new ads, and it's just killing it. I'm not sure if it's going to be at 40 pounds a lead for forever, but even if it goes up to 100 pounds, we're still good. We're still swimming in it. So what's in it for you? Let's actually summarize this video and think about essentially some sort of standard operating procedure that you can follow if this happens to you. All right, so the first thing you're going to look at, again, if this is happening to you, right, that you're getting poor quality leads, is your ad set. Well, first of all, you actually have to look at your entire funnel. And especially if you changed big pieces, like if you completely changed your landing page copy, or if you completely changed your VSL video, I would analyze those as the first thing. But then if you haven't changed those, which is going to be probably 99% of you, it just starts happening to you randomly without making any changes, then ads is the culprit, right? So I want you to go inside of the ad set, never mind the cost per lead, ROAS, all that sort of stuff. Simply check for a few things. Number one, is majority of your ad spend actually gets allocated to only a few ads? If it's true, which most likely will be the case, I want you to rewatch those video ads at least 5 times each and write down anything suspicious that comes up. Then, once you confirm that there were some suspicious things that you're saying in the ad, I want you to pause those ads. And then I want you to pay very special attention every 2-3 days. I want you to keep checking your ads to make sure that Facebook does not do the same thing all over again, that it distributes most of your ad budget to shitty ads. Look, whether you like it or not, Facebook will end up picking those 1 or 2 ads and spending most of your budget on it. That's what it does so well. That's what we'll love it for, right? Because it's so damn good at finding ads that are just performing better than others and just spending money on them. But you have to make sure that those ads are actually good as well, right? I think the biggest tail sign is, look, within 48 hours, you need to start seeing dramatic improvement in lead quality if those new ads that it started spending money on are good. And if not, you pause those as well until you're left essentially with the ads, until you force it to spend money on the ads that are good, that are bringing good leads. And you're also going to delete those old video ads from your advertising pool entirely, right? So kill off the non-ICP ads. And then you're going to create more ICP ads using the exact formula that I told you about. First of all, you're going to manually, none of that AI slop bullshit. You're going to manually watch the videos. If you have 30 videos, pour all over the 30 videos. This is how I write my best copy. Because it's not just giving AIs, captions and just telling it to create your copy. Look, AI is great. I'm a huge proponent for AI. It's helping us essentially fast track our work by 5 times at the agency, get great results for clients. But at the end of the day, AI is a tool, right? AI does not talk to your client every day, does not understand their concerns, does not understand the finer details that the sales team is basically telling you about. We're just not there yet, right? And AI does not have still the full context, in-depth context, and also like being a great marketer. I know there's all these skills, Claude code skills that I'm actually using that you can use to train the AI to become a great marketer, but still there's some things that AI cannot do, right? And it's one of those things. Really using your experience, using your deep insight, literally years of working with your clients if you're running ads for you, or years of working in the advertising space and working with clients if you're an agency, that AI just cannot do, right? So you're going to watch the videos yourself, you're going to write the tidbits, you're going to take those tidbits, should be a document with like minimum 3-4 pages. Just write them. Just create a Google Doc, like literally go like boom, like this, and just start typing. Boom, 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 boom. Like literally everything, all the good things you like, you write it down, give it to AI, Claude. Claude is the best. Then download the full captions of those videos, give it to AI as well for the general kind of like context of what's being told in those ads. And then you take a PDF of all the good ads that you have left, you take their captions and you give it to AI as well, and you give it this very specific prompt. You say, hey Claude, what I want you to do is, you're a master advertising, a direct response marketing copywriter. I've uploaded a couple of assets. Let me explain you what those are. Number one, I uploaded a sample of our best performing ads. I want you to look at these ads when you're going to be writing new ad copy. I want you to follow that style. Number two, I've uploaded 2 separate documents that represent our client testimonials. Number 3 is a document with the specific things that are freaking good that were mentioned in that YouTube video that I want you to prioritize when you're going to be writing the ad copy, right? You can also extract multiple hooks and angles for videos, right, from essentially all the documents that I give you. And then one more important thing is you will ask it to write 1 ad copy at a time. Because if you ask it to just, write 6 ad copies, with AI, its bandwidth is not designed to create that sort of output, like high quality output with that many ad copy variations, right? So you have to essentially, if you look at how AI works, it works in sessions. You give it input and it goes into a session and gives you output. You want to essentially focus all of its attention during a session on just performing 1 task, write copy for 1 variation, right? And then once it's done, you can polish it up, feed it back into it and say, hey, you gave me this ad copy, I polished it, this is what I'm really going for. Now take this ad copy and create a second angle. And this is how you work with it. And that's it, guys. This is how you do it. Now, I know, looks like a lot, but if you're running a business where you're making hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars, well, this is how you do it, right? And if you don't want to do it, then you can go to nazimconsulting.com and apply to work with us, where we're going to do all of this on a done-for-you basis. Make our clients $40 million. If you go to nazimconsulting.com, it's our website. It's a beautiful VSL explaining how we work and how we made Dan Harvey from Passion $5 million, Andreas Baulig $4 million, Vanessa over $7 million with 350K MRR. We took Thorsten from $60 to over $600,000 per month. This is not dollars, this is euros. So we were at like 700 in just 18 months and many more testimonials. And thanks for watching this video. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next videos.